Okay, it's early. I have barely slept the last few days. All these anti-abortion laws, with no exception for rape or incest, has really got me thinking about my past and how differently things could have turned out, and how this is going to affect women and girls across the country. So I'm just going to read something that I wrote last night about my experience as a kid. I hold these traumas. I feel the burn seething through my soul. I cannot delete my memory like a browser history. I wish I could. I wish I could forget, make it not real, but I can't. Does it make you feel uncomfortable to hear about? It should. Imagine how uncomfortable it was for me. How cold his hands felt as they went up my bare leg, always grabbing at things I had wanted to throw away. How his breath smelled, the way he breathed, as I burned from the sting. I wanted to leave, but I could not. All I could do was stare into space, past his shoulder, past his breath, gross, moist, and heaving, past his red hair that I hated with every breath I had, big full beard that suffocated my face, waiting for him to be done with me, to throw me away like a used piece of tissue, so I could try and clean him off of me, so I could try and pretend that I was still a child, so I could hope I could get it off fast enough before he put a baby in me. I remember his looks, the leers, like I was a piece of meat, never able to leave his gaze, always being sure I knew. He was watching, waiting for any chance he had to put his hands on parts of my body that I hated, making sure I knew I was his prey. I remember sleeping in the closet with the door tied shut, so at least I could hear him if he snuck in the middle of the night. We took car rides just so he could grab all the parts of my body I wanted so desperately to abandon, to disconnect from. I remember choking because my mouth was too small. I hated my mouth for the things that he did to it. I hated my body for betraying me so. I hated him. But he had already silenced me. I would try to scream, to say no, but I could not make a sound. He was everywhere. I watched as he slit my pet's throat to make sure I was ready for him, so that I would not run, so that I would not tell, because I had seen him take a life. And when I tried to look away, he held my face, made me watch my pet die in pain, bleeding out from the neck, screaming in pain. I remember living in the hotel. I was 13. My only love in life was my skateboard and my drums. Why was I bleeding so fast? Why can't I stand up anymore? Why can't I walk? It's my birthday now. I want to go outside, but I can't walk. I'm too weak. I want to see a doctor, but that's not allowed. I'm told by my mother, "Oh, my dear, you know what this is," as I felt the clumps and blood gushing into my bed. This is what she said. "I don't know why you bother to walk the streets as you do. For a child of mine, you're not worth $20. I'm still weak, too stunned to fight back. I realize no one cares. No one is going to save me. I want it to end. I want out. Or to die. I don't even really care which." I finally stopped bleeding. I must clean him up off of me better. I get some help at the clinic. I get it without him knowing, so I can try and keep him from putting a baby in me. I don't know if this will ever end. I feel it will not. I know my mother would be so mad at me if she knew what I did. That's what he said. He said he was a good dad. So why did it feel so wrong? I leave with my friends. We're out for the night. I decide not to go back, but I'm too young. His mom makes me call home. I'm begged to come home. I stay away for a couple more weeks, begging for places to stay, doing unspeakable things, having them done to me. I go home. He's talking about killing me. It feels different now. He is serious. I want to die, but not by him. I live in the middle of the night, running, scared, thinking he's going to find me. I wait 3 days in dark rooms, hidden, scared of every sound. I'm sure it's him coming to kill me. It's the longest 3 days that I've ever counted. Finally, I get on a plane and leave. I feel relief, but also so much pain. All the feelings are raw. I have escaped. I am alive, but only physically. My spirit is buried, not shining. But I survived. I fucking survived. I can't delete these things from my brain. I wish I could, like a browser history. Now, I was 16 when I left out the window in the middle of the night and hid for 3 days waiting for a plane ticket out of state so I could leave before he killed me. And several months before he touched me for the first time sexually, we had a goat. We had a bunch of goats. One of them got attacked by a mountain lion. But rather than going and taking care of the goat himself, like, a normal father would do without the family around, he singled me out and took me with him. And he slit the goat's throat and made me watch as my goat bled out and died, screaming in pain. And when I cried and tried to look away, he grabbed my head and made me look at it. I was 7.5, maybe 8, barely, maybe almost 8. I was already terrified of him before that. But now I knew that he could kill and not feel a single bit of remorse, not any sadness or guilt. And he wanted to make sure that I knew that. So, fast forward to when I was 17, I had already been gone from my family of origin. But I moved back in with my mom because she had left him. I don't know, it took her a while, but she did anyway. We wanted to press charges. Well, I wanted to press charges. I don't really remember if she did. I wanted to. And so we went to the police in New Mexico, which was one of the states that this happened in. And I told them every gory detail of what he did to me. Something I don't do. I don't even like to think about the details. I did it to 2 male officers. And then, we let them know he lived in a cabin. His backyard was the fence of a grade school. That's his favorite age. Now, I had an adopted sister who, it's a long story. I won't even go into how she ended up in our family. But anyway, he started with her as soon as she came into the family when she was 11. I was 9. And he got her pregnant when she was 16, and they had a baby. And when I turned him in at 17, the authorities knew this. You know what they said? It's legal. She was 16. Unless she comes in and says it was rape, it was legal. Nothing they can do, quote unquote. And then, now I'm not sure if this is totally true because this is coming from my mom, but she told me, they said, we have an election going on and we don't have time to deal with this. So no charges ever actually got brought against him. No questions were asked of him. Nothing actually happened to him. He's dead now. Thank God. But he went on to teach mentally handicapped children. That was his last job. And I'm sure that was no accident. Now, the girl who went through all that, let's say when I left out of the window at 16, imagine if I'd gotten, to my destination and found out that I was pregnant by him. Are you going to force me to have that man's baby, really? Do you think my mental state could have handled that? And if I off myself, honestly, at that point, I didn't care if I died. I was already dead inside. I was suicidal already. Do you think that making that girl have that baby would do anything to help that? No. Anyway, this video is running long. And this is intense. And this is going to have to actually be covered in several videos because I have so many things to say about this. And a few issues that are surrounding this entire thing. And a lot of my personal experience. There's several stories that shape my view and why I feel the way that I do. So, if you like this video, please click like, subscribe, and share. I'm Jamaica, and you have a good day. I'm signing off now.